projects from the hood.
And I personally...
think you're going to get to work on time on Monday.
Right. I'm going to combine
Right.
My thought and pattern on that is to combine with what, Scooby was saying, as Demarcus was saying, as well as you, Joe. It also has to deal with I personally think it also has to deal with how society labels, put the family in. If a female trying to, do this or whatever, she want to be strong and want to be very independent, and I don't need no man, this, that, and the third. Next thing you know, Becky down the street, or around the corner or what have you, in another neighborhood, treating her man, really well, and this, that, and the third. And as men, we don't express it, but we need security from our women or what have you. And if a woman is telling us, then I don't need, you to take care of me, this, that, and the third. And then another one catering to us. I mean,
Game, what you expect?
Exactly. But,
Game on.
I mean, like my neighbors, I seen them last week, and I was out here cutting my grass, and my kids live with me and everything. So until I get remarried again or whatever, I just seen them. They go outside, they planted the garden together, they put the little surroundings. Like, you see some white folks build and learn off each other. They really help each other out.
mm-hmm.
A black girl, she get upset or something or whatever, and she like, oh, fucking girl, fucking girl, and they get that mentality, like, just to leave him at his low point. They don't work together as a team so much. So I'm not saying that society views white people a different way, but like I said, in my own, and I'm real cool with my neighbors. You know what I'm saying? She actually helped me get a job. So just to see that the way that they just run their lifestyle, though, I just see
mm-hmm.
that they have each other's back and support. And if a black man doesn't feel valued, I feel that makes his mind, and I don't think a black woman really shows that man his value. Like, hey, I do need you to pop the top on this pickle jar,
mm-hmm.
or whatever. It can be something as small as that. But if a man don't feel appreciated and valued, and black women don't do that. They want to be, well, what you get me for this and this? We spend $800 on them for whatever holiday, and we get $100 worth. And it's not about the money, but it's just the fact of, did you really think deeply on something that I would really care for and
mm-hmm.
want, or was it the fact that it's just you thought about yourself? So I just think a lot of black women think more for themselves, and the idea of being in a relationship and being secured, their mindset just isn't built for that. Like you said, they're young grandparents now, so they ain't doing nothing but teaching their kid and then the grandkid the same thing. So
it goes back.
You hit the nail. I think you hit the nail on the head. With value, you hit the nail on the head. Because I'm gonna tell y'all, and I'm gonna come clean. All right, I'm come clean. As far as ethnicity, I don't think there's one out there that I hadn't hit. That because I was a musician for a long time, so I've been in church all my life. And I've been in relationships with a lot of different ethnicities. A lot of that had to do with the fact that when I was raised, my mom, even though we was in the hood, my mom wanted me to be, she worked 2 jobs so I could go to a private school. So I was around a whole different group of people. But with that being said, you hit the nail on the head, because I'm divorced. My ex-wife was a black woman, and black men inherently, I believe, and this is just my thought, black women have been taught not to value black men, because you listen to, I'm a real proponent, I like etymology, and you don't listen to the words somebody says, but you listen to what they're actually saying. Black women say, oh, I got a good man. You didn't say that Derek is your soulmate. You said, I got a good one. So that makes a man feel anybody could fill this role as long as they treat you like you wanted to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
But a man wants to feel like, you know what? Ain't nobody can take my spot. Nobody can take my spot because it's me inherently in my DNA. You can't be with nobody, and it's not based on my performance, but it's based on who I am. And that's where the difference in the ethnicities work, because I all of my business partners and all of the partners on my board, they're all white guys. And one of them, he's 32 years old, named Jordan Smith. 10 years ago, him and his wife lived in a trailer park, single-wide trailer. Single-wide trailer. He was selling newspapers. She loved him as much then as she does now when he makes $2.7 million a year. And I can look at him, I can look at her looking at him across the room at our meetings, and she's just as in love with him. Yeah. And that's the huge difference is at that low point, what you said before, man, at that low point, sisters are going back to their girlfriends and they're like, you know what, he ain't gonna never be nothing. Girl, you need to just drop him. They're looking for a husband. They're not looking for their mate. They're looking for anybody to fill the role that checks off the boxes they have. And that devalues a man. And see, now flip the script. If a man treats them the same way and say, hey, I'm looking for somebody 5'3", that's thicker than a Snicker, and I'm looking for somebody with a coat bottom curves, that she know how to wear a dress, she know how to wear some heels, she got her hair and nails done, she knows how to talk. Oh, so you're not interested in who I am as a person. You're not interested in my person. You're not interested in who I am. You accept me for who I am. I don't have to change. No, it don't work that way. And what ends up happening is you spoke to the class thing. Now, me, I like the ballet. I like the opera. I like to go to the opera, season tickets to the opera. I enjoy that. I like to ski. I snowboard. I enjoy that. I'm sorry, it ain't my fault, but I ain't finding a whole lot of sisters out there.
I just like you cross the street.
Let me ask y'all fellas a question, if y'all can relate to it. And it's nothing major, whatever the case, but have y'all ever felt like y'all told an ex or your current wife, woman, whoever, and you said something to them, like, because you know it, like, you know, cleaning rims or shoes, whatever, but you, hey, babe, do it like this. Oh, you know, and they went against what you were saying, but then somebody else, whether, especially if it was another man, whether it was friend or whatever the case, told them the exact same thing you did, man, and you taught them to do it. You know, that right there, you look at your woman like, hold up, what? Like, didn't I just... But then it's a confrontation after that. Well, don't worry about it. Now our feelings hurt. And I think women expect men, black men especially, too, that we can't be in our feelings, too. Like, we got feelings as well. You know what I mean? But when we say something about our feelings, it's like it's an issue, or you tough, you a man. No, like, hear me out. You know what I'm saying? So and like I said, I just felt like in some relationships, you can tell them exactly how to tighten this boat or whatever. Nah, it ain't gonna work. But let little Johnny or their cousin or whatever say, hey, you do it like this. Oh, look, I did this by myself. Look what I did, boo. It's like, I told you that 2 weeks ago. So now we feeling away, and it's, oh, what's your problem? I think a lot of women don't really get into our feelings like that. You know what I mean? So that's
man, you speaking the truth. I just experienced that 4 hours ago. Man, I'm not joking with you. My girl just decided out of the blue that she wants to redo all of the flower beds in the front of her yard. This is the first house she's ever owned. So I'm like, okay, if you want to do this, let me finish with my work with my clients. I'll be over, and I'll go to Lowe's with you. I'm going to Lowe's with her. She's trying to tell me, well, I can just use trash bags in the bottom. I said, sweetie, I'm trying to tell you something. Listen to a 48-year-old man that's owned 7 properties and still own 2. I've done it wrong, and I know how to do it right. Didn't want to listen to me. I could just do it with trash bag. I don't even need it. She had to go back to Lowe's. She asked somebody at Lowe's. They said, no, ma'am, you probably don't want to do that. That's going to make a big problem with you. You're exactly right. And what that does to a man is it's like, you don't even view me as an equal. You don't view me as a mental intellectual. You don't respect my intelligence or my experience when you don't defer to my knowledge. I'm never going to tell you something wrong because I care about you.
Right. But don't ignore the signals, bro.
A lot of us see red flags and signs and don't ignore the signs, and then be mad later because we didn't pay attention to it.
Right. Hey, but
women say the same thing all the time.
Yeah. To me, again, it goes back to like talked about the young kid coming up to the golf shop, working his stock. Now, while this father is teaching his son to go, get up in the morning and the first thing you do before you go play golf is you check your stocks. All right. Now, Mama got Becky at the house teaching her how to be a homemaker and how to appreciate and how to enhance, what little Johnny's doing after he comes home from the golf course. So all of that stuff is taught early. And again, our culture, because and I think it's because of the hurt that a lot of black women had felt, going through women's lib back in the 60s and not being able to vote when men could vote and getting less pay on jobs, but doing pretty much the same job as a man was doing, being left alone to raise kids in the household. So that hurt has taught a lot of black women to be their own woman, and you don't need no man. So while Carisha is being taught to be a strong, independent black woman and don't worry about depending on no man, Becky is being taught to depend on the man and to enhance him and to make him feel like that masculine king that he's been taught to be. And so when you have those opposites working, Tyrone ain't want to go home and be fighting with Carisha in this battle over her being Miss Independent and all of these things. So he just falls over to where Becky is. That just gives him that peace when he comes home, and all he got to do is put his feet up, and she's treating him like a king. So I mean, to me, that's where it lies. I mean, pretty much, like you say, curiosity and respect. Curiosity because as men, that's just us. We're adventurous. We're curious. Black men, we ain't as curious as, well, I ain't gonna say because the man said he like to ski and all that stuff. But you don't catch a lot of us skiing and rock climbing and all that. But we are curious. We do venture out, and we like to, we like to test the other side of the track sometimes. But then, as you get a certain age, like you said, man, you just want to know that you're valued as a man, as a husband, as the head of the household. You want to know that you got respect from your woman and your children. And when you come home in the evening after fighting with Mr. Charlie all day on this 9 to 5, the last thing I want to do, because I'm already wore out, the last thing I want to do when I come home in the evening is fight. So a lot of them are choosing. I got a friend, man, just divorced right around Christmas, this past Christmas, from a sister. And he's been seeing a white girl, and he hit me up the other night and said, "Yo, man, I think I'm gonna pop the question. We're gonna get married, gonna be out the country." I'm like, "Well, cool. If you gonna pay for my trip, I'll be there. I'll hook you up."
To wind down in the close, to even close out on this discussion. Anybody want to say something else?
Yeah, I wanted to say, as a man that's married to a black woman for 16 years, been with her 20 years, over half my life, I just want to say we're doing a whole lot of generalizations. And, I feel like I would be letting my wife down if I didn't say this, because, all the however your own personal experiences may have been or what you may have seen, that's not, that's really not commonplace.
Mm-hmm.
Over 90% of black men are married to black women.
Mm-hmm.
And while, of course, we see a lot of the
Hello?
I'm still here. Hello.
Hey, well, look, I'll say this. I'll just throw this out there while he's getting himself together. I mean, I'm married to a black woman. Been married 25 years. We just celebrated 25 years marriage this past June. I'm not knocking black women. I'm just answering the question as to why, why we choose.
Hello? Sorry, guys.
You see what I'm saying? I'm just answering the question of why we choose.